Hello, it's Ada and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button as it helps me out. Today we are actually doing a story time about how I roofied myself. Actually, about last year, me and my sister decided to go to Germany. And so, everything was good. We hopped on the plane, we flew over there, and we were having such a great time. It was around April time, so the weather was so nice. We came from the United States, and where I live at that time was pretty cold. It was about 40-degree weather, and when we went over to Germany, it was about like 60 degrees, so it was just so nice. We decided to roll up our pants, to like make capris. We were going jacketless. It was just, we were having a grand old time in Germany. The first 2 days, the first 2 days were amazing. We decided to do some sightseeing the first day. We just kind of walked around. We visited a restaurant that was conveniently across the street from the hotel that we were staying at. Great food. And everyone in Germany is just so kind and they're so warm. Like, I never felt once that when I was there, I never felt scared. I felt like if I got lost or got separated from my sister, I would be able to find my way back to the hotel or to be able to ask somebody for help, which was a completely different experience from the United States. The United States, you kind of avoid people, and you don't really know who's trustworthy or who's not, or I didn't feel that when I was in Germany. We were down in the subway station looking at the map to try to figure out how to get to Dachau. And so we were looking at the map and we were like, we don't know which, train to take. It was confusing. We didn't understand the map that we were given was not that great. We actually ended up having to download a map of the subway station and subway stops onto our phone, which was completely fine, like no worries. But anyway, so we were having trouble trying to figure out which train we needed to take. And this German woman came up to us and was like, "Are you guys okay? Like, do you need help?" And in English too, so she knew that we weren't from there, and it was so kind. And she actually ended up helping us get onto the train that we needed to take. So we got on, took the one that we needed to take there, took some photos, touristy stuff, and we ended up the place that we were trying to get to was Dachau concentration camp. And I actually have a minor in history in college, so if you guys will bear with me to take a moment for all the lives that were lost. Thank you for doing that. There were so many families affected, and it was, an awful time in history, and I just want to know that the story may be funny, or the story, I might be smiling and having a good time telling the story. I respect what had happened. I respect the families that were involved in this part of history. However, we went to Dachau. We got to Dachau concentration camp. And we bought our tickets and everything. Well, actually, it was free, but we got our tickets. And then we decided that we were really hungry. We got there pretty early to try to avoid rush hour. And so we decided to go to the cafe to get some food and some coffee. And we went up and ordered. I will insert a picture of what we got. And so the food was delicious, everything was so nice, and I went to go make my coffee. And so I poured my coffee and I grabbed, they also have like really tiny cups there, like so small compared to the United States. I mean, the United States, we have like huge giant mugs for our coffee. I will try to insert pictures of like differences of the coffee, because it was just crazy. Because when I like in the United States, when I think of a cup of coffee, I think of like this ginormous thing, and you know, it's gonna take me a while to finish it. In Germany, the cups are small, so it took me like 2 steps to finish it. But I was getting my coffee ready, and I put the creamer in. It was like this little dispense thing that I just hit the button on, and I grabbed the sugar packets. Now, everything's in German, and I speak a little bit of German. I'm not fluent. Like, I know, hello, how are you? That's about it that I know, like, off the top of my head. I knew a little bit more a year ago when I went. I could read street signs a little bit, but that was about it. So directions, ingredients, I knew no German food words when I was over there. But anyway, so I grabbed the sugar packets, or what I thought was a sugar packet, and I walked over to the table. I opened it up, and I went to go pour it inside, and I heard a plop. So I turned to my sister, and I was like, Katie, I think a pill just fell into my coffee. And she was like, well, what do you mean? What's happening? Like, hold on, let me translate the ingredients. And so I was like, okay. And so she like does that. I take the other tablet that was in the packet out so she could like see what it looked like. And it was like a little white thing. I will insert a picture on the screen. It was like a little white tablet, a little white pill. And so like she's freaking out. She's Googling all the ingredients. She's trying to translate all the words and what they mean. And I was just, I grabbed the other sugar packets that I had, the long sugar packets. I'll insert a picture. The long sugar packets that were like actually sugar, like they were like, granulated sugar. And so I poured those into my coffee because I like my coffee sweet. Like, do you need some coffee with that sugar, basically? And I drank it. And I thought at the time, I was like, well, what's the worst it can be? Like, there's a whole bunch of packets of those tablets that look the same, and they're in the sugar section. So I was just like, they're not going to put pills by the sugar section. So I drank the coffee, and my sister was like, Ada, what are you doing? You just roofied yourself. And she like starts freaking out. And I have still yet to learn the ingredients of this tablet that I just drank. And so I was like, but wait, oh my God, like, what's going to happen? Am I going to faint? Am I going to die? Like, am I going to get, paralyzed? Like, what was in that packet? What was in the pill? Like, and she goes, oh no, the pill was sugar. And I was like, so nothing is going to happen? And she goes, I know, but you didn't know that. And I was like, okay, like, I thought the worst that it was going to be was sugar or like an ibuprofen or something. And she was like freaking out. So like after that, every single time I, decided to get a sugar packet or decided to do something that I couldn't read, my sister just joked around about how the time that I roofied myself. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please come back next week as I try to upload once a week. Here is my social media. It is Instagram. Thank you so much for watching.